of September of last year, Garry's mod nextbots were a huge trend, so I wanted to get on this trend. So I created it and made a short on it. And the short did well. It got 11k on TikTok at KhaledDev _, 24.8k on Instagram at KhaledDev _, and 1.3k on YouTube. And people to this day ask me if I can release the code of the game. So here I am. I released the code to GitHub. It's in the description of the video. Okay, take it past Khaled. Explain the project. So we open up the project right here, and it's a multiplayer project using Photon. And you have the player name, as you see right here. You just name your player, and the name is the server name as well. So if you want to enter with your friends, you just write the user's name, and it's case sensitive as well. Just need to say that. So you create a match, and you get teleported to the game. You have the controls on the top left. W is D to move, control is the crouch, and C is the sliding. And from the number 1 to 4, you enable the bots. So I click here on the number 1, it will spawn and rotate. And it's loud, I don't know why, and I'm stuck. So that's pretty much it. It will follow you and try to kill you. There's no really any objective in the game. You just spawn and run away. That's it. It's very simple. I'll show now me explaining the project, what every script does, and how to set up a bot if you want to create a custom bot. So when you want to create a custom bot, you go to the Unity project, you go to scenes, and you click on the sample scene right here. You open the sample scene. It's the same map, but you have the bots right here. So here are the bots. I have 4 right now in the game: Andrew Tape, IShowSpeed, GigaShad, and Super Idol. This project was old when the Super Idol meme was relevant. Either way. So let's click on the Andrew Tate bot, which is right here, and it's also in its folder called bots, and it has the audio and stuff. Okay, so you click on Andrew Tate, and you want to, let's say, change his picture. So you click on the arrow right here on the bot, and you put this picture on the front side and the back side. It's just a material that you import, just like here. So you have the image here and a material, and put it as the base map. When you want to create a new bot, you have 2 components, essential components for it to be multiplayer: the photon transform view and the photon view. For the photon view, you have to click on the recent bot, which is the last one made, and it's 103. That's the view ID. And when you create a new one, it will be 404, 105, 106, depending on how many you create. Each one you need to put it and give it an ID, a certain ID, and you just Control C, Control V, like Control C, Control V. Now if I have another one here, I just move it here and put here right here 104. Simple enough. And you have here the nav mesh agent, which is the AI, and this is the map. It's on the Unity Asset Store. So also will be on the GitHub page, written in the README markdown file. So that's how you make the bots. Now I'll explain how to work with the code. So right now I'll explain every code in this project. It's old code. I wrote this like back in September, so if it's bad, don't blame me. So this is the camera controller. It's a simple camera controller script, no further explanation needed. You just get you write the sensitivity, you get the orientation of the player, and X and Y rotations, and you just do normal stuff. And here the only difference is the photon view.is mine. This is for multiplayer. Just leave it as B and it should work fine. For the player movement is a bit more complicated, as you can see here, and there's some stuff I wrote differently. So this movement script is taken from the YouTuber Dave/GameDev. His channel is written on the script as well. It's like a multi-part series of movement to make a good physics-based movement system. I recommend watching the videos because they just explain the script very well. And I have modified the script, so I'll explain what I modified. This movement script is really good. I use it in every game I make, pretty much. Every 3D game I make, I use this script, and I made a personal 2D one I use for every 2D game I make. So what I made differently from his script is I added this if statement to check if the keypad is pressed. Number 1, it will enable this. It will call a photon view RPC, so it enables for every player, and it will call the function bot enable, and it takes the photon view ID. So when you go down more, this is for bot enabling, and it has its own function right here at the end of the file. So photon view enable, it will get the number and checks if it's enabled in the hierarchy. If it is, if it's not, it will turn it on. If it is, it will turn it off. And one more thing I changed with this script is here. So this is the limit the velocity script or speed control function, you can say. So here you have the new thing I wrote is checks if the state of the player is in the air. If it's not, we'll have the normal velocity, but if it is in the air, it will increase the limitation by 1.2. And that's it. That's the only things I changed with this script. I didn't change anything else. And now we can go to the third script, which is the sliding script. Same concept from dev/game development. Amazing tutorials and amazing moving system for sliding. Now we'll go to the thing that people want the most, the agent, the nextbot, you can say. This is the nextbot AI. It's nothing complicated. It's very simple. It's a very simple script. So in start, we'll just get the agent, and after getting the agent, we will just disable the game object. And now here we have a player index and integer that we'll use to let the bot know which player we want to follow. On enable script, which is a Unity function, players, it get the players from every tag, which is player. From players game object, they'll find game objects with tag player. Player index will equal to random.range 0 to player's length. So it will choose a random player. And in update, we'll check is the player dead, which is a variable we talk about in the collision detection. Is the player dead? If no, then we'll set this destination to the player we want in the player index. If it is dead, we'll just change the player from this script here, from this one here. And now we go to the collision detection. So collision detection is a very simple one. A public bool checks if the player is dead. And on trigger enter, if other.game_tag equal bot, so this is on the player. If the player collides with the bot and is not dead, it will start the coroutine reset player, in which we do dead equal true, get game object player movement dot enable and make it false. Then wait 5 seconds, then get the player movement again and turn it true. And then put the transfer position to network spawner/spawn position. And then dead equal false. Now to the network manager. The network manager is a very simple script. It's just what makes you connect to the server and enter other players' game. On the network spawner script, it just spawns the player. It's a script that spawns the player on the network. And then we have the final script, which name is a bit weird. It's reset on fall, and that is here when you go to the main map. Huge box collider here that will check if the player has fell off the map. So going back to here, it just takes the spawn position that we want and checks on trigger enter with the player. We reset the position, and that's it. That's pretty much how the game works. I made this roughly in a day. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's the project. Now please people stop talking about this project. Let me continue working on my other projects. I released it. I think it's fine. I think releasing it's fine. I hope there's nothing wrong with me releasing it. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial announcement. I don't know what really to call this. Either way, yeah, thank you all for watching. See ya.